Hello and welcome. This is your host, Lisa Neller, and you are listening to a Bliss Buddy Chat, a self-care and healthy living conversation worth listening to, because what we bring to the table are self-care strategies to make life more enjoyable. BringMeBliss.com is a self-care and healthy living blog for women. It's about helping women achieve utter joy and contentment in spite of their trials and circumstances. Our guests have an expertise in the self-care space, and we are bringing you real stories, tips, strategies, and solid advice for achieving a better life. Our content delivers information that addresses mind, body, and spirit. We promote getting in touch with all areas of yourself for better understanding and developing skills to live life intelligently. We want to help you reduce your stress and workload so you can live life to the fullest. This conversation is for you to learn better strategies for living well, eating well, moving well, and working well. Living out the second half of life with gusto, meaning, and purpose is what we are about. I'm interested in real stories from real people who have gone through rough stuff and have come out the other side. Each Bliss Buddy conversation includes myself and my Bliss Buddy, a real woman who helps bring joy to others with her spirit, her heart, her life, and her work. Today's Bliss Buddy is Roseann Zaft. Roseann is the owner of Live Fit, which is a holistic health coaching business. She is a board-certified holistic health and nutrition coach and a member of the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. She is also a certified fitness trainer and yoga therapist. Her lust for life is infectious and inspiring, and for her clients, she combines wellness expertise with loving kindness. Roseann works with busy women and men, helping them to find solutions to balance fitness and nutrition so that they can live fit. Together, they create successful strategies for health, happiness, and harmony in all areas of life. For 17 years, she has specialized in helping people overcome their fitness and health challenges through increasing endurance, flexibility, power, mobility, stability, and strength in their body while improving their confidence and commitment to living a healthier life. Through educational programs and one-to-one coaching, Roseann helps clients find a deeper understanding of how their body works and how to feed it for optimal energy to heal their bodies from the inside out. Roseann is trained and certified in numerous modalities, which you can read about on her website. But in today's Buddy Chat, we're going to be focusing on nutrition and specifically how sugar is one of the main culprits in manifesting disease today. I've had the pleasure of meeting Roseann in person, and we are both on a similar track of bringing wellness and bliss to others. And I'm excited she's with us today to share her expertise. Welcome, Roseann.
Welcome. Thank you for the welcome, Lisa. I really, really appreciate being on your show tonight and hearing all of the wonderful things that you have to say about your mission on this broadcast.
Awesome. Well, I want to hear more from you, but from what I understand about you, you have been involved in fitness for a very long time, but more recently, you've not only embraced full throttle healthy living, but you are also highly qualified to coach from a variety of modalities. Please tell us your story. Like, how did you get from where you were to where you are now?
I'd be happy to. It's kind of an odd story. And when you were introducing the show, you were talking about women coming from challenges and coming from the muck. And honestly, I come from the muck like a lotus petal, and I'm happy to share the story. I have been involved with fitness for the past 17 years professionally. And the truth is, my life before this career wasn't like that. I'm a woman in long-term recovery, which means for the past 12 years, I haven't used drugs or alcohol. And I share that only because besides the fact that right now my mission is to get the awareness of sugar as a toxic substance, for over 30 years, I drank and drugged, and I was a very high-functioning alcoholic. And from the outside, it all looked good. But on the inside, I was literally killing myself. I started very young. I was very much a good student, upstanding member of the community. I had a very successful graphic design studio back in Cleveland, Ohio, which I still live part-time. Everything, again, looked good, and I was very high-functioning. And I even exercised back then, and I think it was like intuitively I exercised just to kind of detox my body because I was killing myself. I was poisoning myself. But as long as I worked out really hard, I can do it again another day. So the story kind of unfolds from there. I sold my graphic design studio in 1996, which took about a year off just to chill out. And I had been doing fitness was a hobby, and I decided to kind of take that to the next level. I just wanted to be a fitness trainer. And by 1998, I became a certified personal trainer, group trainer. But I was still drinking and drugging. And I did that for a couple of years until 2002. I had that aha moment. I took my first guided meditation class. And it was there lying on the floor in this guided meditation class. I just realized I could no longer talk the talk without walking the walk. And by God's grace, I had that moment. And it actually took me a while to get it together. But since June 2nd, 2002, I haven't had the need to pick up a drink or drug. So that's the good news. The bad news is a year clean, I was still feeling like crap, literally. I couldn't understand. Here I am, a fitness professional. I'm eating right. I'm exercising. I'm not using all that stuff that I was using for years. I should be feeling like so great, but I wasn't. So I learned about naturopathic medicine. Not so familiar in back in Ohio, but pretty much the happening thing out west. And I was turned on to a doctor in Scottsdale, a naturopathic doctor, and we proceeded to I jumped in wholeheartedly, mind, body, and soul, to realize I had candida, which is a yeast infection in my digestive tract. My adrenals were fried, pretty severely fried. I had a plethora of food allergies. So from 2003 up until present moment, because this has been a journey, I've learned how food can actually make you sick or it can heal you. And my biggest culprits, because of the years of drinking and drugging, is sugar. And even though I wasn't drinking sugar, I was addicted to sugar. Candida, it feeds on sugar. And by about 2007, I started feeling a lot better. It took a couple of years. It really took a couple of years. And at that point, I started to look further into my studies. As you had mentioned, through my credentials, I do hold a lot of certifications and training. I've been trained by Alyssa Cohen as a raw food chef and educator. I've done a lot of my own studying on nutrition. I worked with, trained under Lori Kennedy in her holistic nutrition coaching program. So, let's face it, we got to eat, right? But it's like, making the choices that actually heal our body and aren't harmful. And I think a lot of us are misled to what really works for us because we're so individual. So that's kind of my story today. I can tell you at 57, I feel better than ever. I have more energy now, more get up and go, and it's really because of the choices I make, the healthier choices I make, and I just feel compelled. I'm passionate about sharing this with women to say that it is never too late. It's never too late. As long as we're on the side of the grass, we make these little changes one day at a time. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Well, that's very brave and generous of you to share your story. But I believe when we do that, we're actually ministering to other people. We're helping them realize that they're not alone, that everybody has addiction in one form or another. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, now you're recognizing that sugar is an addiction just as anything else can be. And you've written a book called All Natural Sugar Detox. And I'd like to know what is it about sugar in our culture? Why are we so addicted to it? And what are some of the consequences or diseases of this addiction?
Well, that's a super question to ask, because if we really look back, really go back in time, the whole concept of why we ate the sweet stuff, primitively speaking, it's a source of energy. And we need sugar, we need carbohydrates for that reason. But that was way back when. Over time and processing and things like that, the sugars we are eating now, the chemical compositions, the processing, the refinement of sugar has really changed a lot, and it's converting us into sugar addicts. Why do we eat sugar? Why do we do that? Again, for our energy. But what happens is when we're constantly feeding ourselves with sugar, we're sending signals to the brain. We feel happy. We feel in love. We have energy, more energy. It releases those good mood chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, or endorphins. It feels great. So we eat this food. It goes in our stomach. It's absorbed in our blood, our tissues, our organs, our cells. I mean, we feel different. I mean, think about it. How do you feel when you eat something sweet versus some broccoli or meat? You feel a little different, right? You feel a little different when we drink coffee or alcohol as we do sugar. But what happens? You get that burst, that super feeling, whatever that is for you. And then here comes that sugar roller coaster. What happens? You get a crash, fatigue, headaches, mood swings, low energy, hungry. So here you go. You rub up again, that Starbucks latte, a couple cookies, croissants, whatever that is, and then you crash. So it becomes a vicious cycle. And henceforth, even when we eat a small amount, we create a desire for more. And 2 hours later, we go from the happy person to the grumpy person. It's a vicious cycle. So I'm like, stop, get off the roller coaster.
Where is all this sugar? Like, what foods are, if you could give me some examples of what foods are nutrient deficient that mostly have sugar and that people are typically not aware of?
Well, there's really such a wide variety of sugars that we don't even think about. There's so many hidden sugars. As a matter of fact, in the book, I just give the list of them. I mean, there's let's put one, let me give you one really good example. Stevia right now is one of my favorite sweeteners. Mm-hmm. Stevia. But if you look at Truvia, Stevia, if you look at some of the labels, you'll see that there's not only stevia in there. There might be maltodextrose, or there might be some other kind of sucrose, some other kind of sweetener that's not even really pure stevia. So that's a really one thing that I want people to realize. Read the labels. Those hidden sugars become even more apparent, like things like, think about peanut butter. Our tomato sauce is another good one. We open a jar of not ragu or whatever brand it is. I don't want to diss ragu, but a jar of tomato sauce, and we want to put it on our white pasta noodles or our whole wheat pasta. Right there, we're adding more sugar in our body than we realize. Instead of getting out tomatoes and throwing it in a food processor and making our own tomato sauce, we've got all these extra hidden sugars in there. Needless to say, all these low-fat foods that we say, oh, low-fat is good. Well, we're not getting any skinnier eating low-fat foods either, you can tell. In order for the low-fat foods to taste good, there's more sugar hidden in those. So it's just so much everywhere. The bottom line is learn what those names of hidden sugars are, and start reading labels, and know this. I think if nothing else in this interview today that people realize, 4 grams of sugar equals 1 teaspoon of sugar. So that diet, that can of root beer that you might like to enjoy, 11 teaspoons of sugar.
Wow.
I made a comparison. One of my friends is kind of hooked on Monster, and I'm like, I haven't had Monster, so I didn't know what it was like. So I bought a can of Monster. I looked at it, and then I bought a can of Evolution, which is a juice at Starbucks, and it's in grocery stores too. And that's one of my favorite green juices when I don't do my own juicing. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a comparison. Same amount of calories per serving, same amount of carbohydrates, 24 or actually 42 grams of sugar in each of those. But what's the difference? Monster is all artificially created sweeteners. The Evolution, it's real. It's made from papaya and apple and mango. It's juice. It's still sugar, or I would say it's still carbohydrate, but it's the quality of the sweetener, the quality of the carbohydrate. Real versus means your body knows what to do with it versus a laboratory experiment that tastes good that might give you the get up and go, but your body has no idea what to do with it and causes more toxicity and inflammation. So interesting stuff, right? Same calories, same amount of carbs, same amount of sugar, which we're talking, 42, do the math, 11 teaspoons there. And
yeah. I can't even imagine eating some of that stuff, but I know that if you just don't eat the ice cream and you don't shop the pastries and the bread and all that, you can cut back a lot. But tell us what other kinds of food is good that is sweet. For example, like just a sweet potato, for example. What could you do with that to kind of make that taste good? Or what other kinds of things can you have that are going to taste kind of sweet to you, but be more healthy?
Right. Well, you're right. A sweet potato is awfully sweet and a good sweet, and it's got great fiber in it. So you're going to eat something that's got fiber. It's fiber rich, so your body won't absorb into your blood so fast and give you that blood sugar spike. I have a bunch of recipes actually in the book, and they're out on the website too, raw recipes where you can make a really decadent chocolate mousse out of avocado and a little bit of I love coconut nectar, one of my favorite sweeteners. It's a raw product, but it tastes somewhere between like a molasses maple syrup kind of taste. You add some raw cacao, some vanilla, some coconut oil, poof, you've got this amazing chocolate mousse. Green smoothies, are my favorites. I'm a green smoothie girl. Well, throw some chocolate in there. As a matter of fact, I have one that I call the chocolate peppermint Bliss that we got to get on your website. That is, it's just wonderful. You same thing. That it's ingredients. I use walnuts, cacao, and even some greens and some peppermint and some peppermint oil and some almond milk, and you get this amazing. It tastes like a York peppermint patty shake. So who wouldn't want to drink that as opposed to something like a milkshake that we know traditionally tastes yummy, but makes our tummy feel so awful and gives us the sugar rush.
Right.
So, yeah. So there's choices. I always tell people, don't feel deprived. I hate to be deprived. I hate when someone says I can't have it because I want it more. So there's a lot of ways to still have, I'm going to quote unquote, the sweet stuff. Feel like you're not being deprived, but you're actually feeding your body with real food.
Well, we're going to share some more information about your book, and hopefully people can get that and get your recipes and that kind of thing and your suggestions. In the meantime, I want to just talk about self-care for a minute and how it can turn into bliss. So what do you do, Roseann, to take care of yourself and find bliss?
Well, as I had mentioned, the road to recovery, literally the road to recovery from a very toxic lifestyle for up until I was 44, I really learned what self-care meant. And so today there's a couple things that I do. One of them, first and foremost, when I wake up in the morning, I just find some quiet time. And it doesn't take a lot of energy to just sit and be and breathe. You don't have to be formally trained. It's just get up and just find the time to breathe. And that's what I need to do. I need just to have time for myself in the morning. I kind of just know, be one with the universe. And I do it really early in the morning. I like to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's my magic time. And along with that, one of my blissful things to do is I use essential oils. And I know you're a fan of essential oils, that you promote them as well. And I find that when I use them in any way, shape, or form, I mean, that helps my brain to go to different wonderful places. It evokes wonderful feelings and emotions. So essential oils are very much a part of my life. I diffuse them at night before I go to bed, so it just fills my whole room with it. And of course, we're yoga sisters here. There's nothing more wonderful than taking that hour of time just to practice yoga, just to be and breathe, and then you add the essential oils on top of it, and that's blissful to me.
Yes, it is. Me too. In fact, I just took a shower and put some patchouli all over my body with my unscented lotion.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I hear you. Mm-hmm. All right. So what can you tell our listeners that they can do within the next 24 to 48 hours to reverse their sugar addiction, if they're so inclined? Because, I mean, part of it's mindset, right? You have to kind of be ready.
It is. And, it's the first 24 hours, I got to say, are the hardest. But if you are willing, if you have willingness to start looking at what you are making, what the choices you're making, I have found that if you can look at increasing vegetables, increasing those good healthy fats, nuts, seeds, getting the carbs that are fibrous, legumes, again, vegetables have a lot of fiber. So just increasing what we call in the coaching world, crowd out the cravings with really good stuff. Another tip that I actually have 7 tips, and if you don't mind, I'd like to share all of them because one size doesn't fit all.
Please do.
One of my first tips to kick those cravings is, if you're watching TV, turn off the commercials because that is where we just have these messages about all that other stuff out there that looks just so wonderful. So turn off the TV. Secondly, look in your cupboards, your refrigerator. Don't buy it. Don't have it in the house. Donate it to someplace else. Just get rid of stuff that can be harmful. Because I don't like to say good or bad. I look at it more as helpful or harmful. When you look at food, is it helpful to me or is it harmful to me? The third thing is get sleep. If we deprive our body of sleep, there is just our adrenals get fired up and they just need more sugar to survive on. So just get adequate amounts of sleep and you'll reduce your cravings. And as I mentioned before, my fourth tip is just read labels. Start becoming the educated consumer. Read what it is that you're actually putting in your mouth. You can't pronounce it, obviously, you shouldn't be eating it. And I'd mentioned earlier, just crowd it out. Crowd out the harmful stuff with some good food choices. Fruits, vegetables, real food. Just eat real food. Mm. And of course there's primary foods. It's the primary foods I'm speaking of are, get involved more with the family, call your best friend, get involved with the community, find a group of like-minded people, take a bath, get a massage, do some self-care things. Those are primary foods that we tend to starve ourselves from. Really, it's good self-care. And then obviously, if you get stuck, we always get stuck. We're in our own way. I mean, I have a coach I think it's like everyone needs someone to have unbiased support by. So get support from a coach, a mentor, or someone that you can that really has your best interests at heart, but won't enable you.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of ways you can kick those cravings for good.
Very good. All right. So your book is called All Natural Sugar Detox, and it is available through Amazon. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And I think you said it's like $4.99, so really affordable.
Yep. And as a matter of fact, Lisa, in just within about a week or so, I'll be coming up with the all natural 10-day all natural sugar detox, and that program will be available for people at a very affordable price. I don't know if I'm supposed to be promoting this or not, but it's going to be very affordable, and it will include a copy of the ebook. So that way you can not only read the book, but I give you pre and post guidelines. I give you a grocery shopping guide, a great yummy daily menu plan, a detox journal, super simple, super delicious recipes, tips, and after you complete the 10 days, I even throw in a few more a smoothie recipe book and some other post-detox recipes. So lots of yummy treats, lots of new maybe suggestions on things to eat that, and I'm all about keeping it simple because let's face it, we are all way too busy. So so I hope you'll check that out too.
Absolutely. So I'll put all that information on the website when I post this blog. But for those of you listening, it sounds like you know what you need to do is get Roseann's book and join her program. But if you get the book and get some recipes, just look at the recipes, make a grocery list, and go to your nearest store that has good produce and buy the ingredients and just get started trying some new things like her smoothies or whatever she's got in there. So, Roseann, thank you so much for sharing your story today. I so appreciate it. I know it's going to help people, and much success to you with your new 10-day all-natural sugar detox program. I know you've put a lot of work into that. So anyway, I'm really grateful that you joined me, and of course, we'll have you on again and find another topic or something.
Great. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for the opportunity to share our bliss with other people. It's been a really pleasure to start to get to know you over the past months, and we have a lot of things in common, and it's good to know that we have like-minded people that can work together to just keep spreading the joy and spreading the word that, again, it's never too late, and we just make lasting changes one day at a time. So thanks again for the opportunity to be on your program.
You bet. All right. I'll talk to you soon, Roseann. Take care. Thank you.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.